As we made everything to do our photo retouch, and I'm going to remind this once again, in high-end retouch we always use frequency separation method to do our retouch. It's going to let us to keep original image texture and keep the natural look at the same point. We're not going to get this plastic and unnatural look, so we always going to use frequency separation method. That's the best method to do any kind of retouch. And the fact, as I said before, and as you can notice, it's not really perfect image. And the first fact, it's not only the face, so we have quite huge area to do our skin retouch, to do our basic skin retouch, and the fact it's not really a perfect image, so we have a lot of spots, a lot of small hair, and a lot of areas to actually do this basic skin retouch, so it will be very long process. It's not really good for me, and it's not really good for any retoucher when there's many things to do. As you can see, there's many spots, so it's not really good for me. However, it's really good for you if you want to learn something. So by the fact it's going to be a really long process, I'm going to split this frequency separation method for two parts. In the first part, I'm going to remove all of the small spots, all of the small hair I need to take care of at first, and in another lesson, another part of the lesson with our frequency separation retouch, I'm going to work with tones and colors, and I'm going to fix the general tones. So as I'm going to start with the small spots and small areas, I'm going to start from the texture. So hit the texture layer, as it's that gray layer, and if you cannot see all of the spots on the image, you can open some help layer for yourself. The first thing is we can change linear light for now into normal blending mode, so now you can see a bit more details about our texture. And especially you're going to see more details when we hit our adjustment layers, and from our adjustment layers we're going to choose curves. So sorry for it. And when you choose curves, you can simply drag your shadow area down and bring up the highlight area like this. And when you actually do this, you can see all of the details from the image you want to fix. It wasn't so clear at first when we started, especially in linear light in our original image, but as we do all of this, you can see all of the ugly, all of the dirty parts we have to fix on the texture layer. So I'm going to start like this, as I can see everything. However, usually I prefer working on the normal image and see everything, but I'm going to show you at first, if just in case if you would prefer working like this to see more details, because actually right now, even if I zoom it out, I can see everything. I can see even the lights on the forehead I need to remove. So it's really a great way to do this. Just curves, work with curves to bring up all the details, and now you can see how this image looks like, how the texture of this image looks like. So to work with frequency separation, we have to hit this clone stamp tool, and remember to have checked current layer. If you have selected, for example, all layers, it won't work for you. So always in this case current layer, and mode just a normal. Alright, so the things we're going to do, as you can see, the small spots. So at first I'm going to remove the small spots. So what we're going to do, we have to press Alt next to the place, next to the spot we want to remove. So press Alt and hit into this area to take a clone from this area, and just press on the spot you want to remove. I'm going to zoom this a little bit more, so now I can see really a lot. I wouldn't be bothered about the small things, because all of the small things I'm going to fix working with tone and colors. So I mean the smallest thing, so like but the rest of the small spot, just hit all and just fix these areas. It's going to be a really long process, as I said, so I'm just going to show you a few things and then I'm going to speed up this video a little bit. I'm not going to remove all of this because there's better method to do this, but just the main spots, the main small spots, we have to fix really. So as I said, hit Alt next to the area we want to remove and then just paint on this area. The thing I can say doing this right now, I highly recommend you vacuum tablet. However, using mouse you can do this as well. I was doing this with mouse a very long time and it was fine. However, using vacuum tablet you can paint this very quickly, so it's really huge comfort to do this, right? So as you can see, when we actually made this huge contrast on this layer, we can see everything. And what we are doing now, we fix actually everything. I'm going to show you this on the original layer, linear light, of course. So take a look how this image is actually changing. As you can see, it's like magic, but it's of course not any magic, and all of the spots disappearing. So I'm going to change this into normal layer, then curve, so I can see all the details, and I'm going to work with this. So do the same steps, remove all of the spots, all of the main spots you can see. Of course, these white areas you have to remove as well. They look the worst, and they look actually worse than all of the pimples, all of the spots. So the white areas are quite basic thing to remove, this kind of hair. And of course in the nose, which is really important, we don't want our model to have the hair inside, so just remove it. Just do this as well inside the nose, remove all of the hair. When we zoom this out, of course you cannot notice this much, but sometimes you can, so this is pretty much important thing to do. So right now I'm going to speed up this video a little bit. As I told probably everything what you need right now, and if I get any point to say something more, of course I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we have to do. Of course, the thing I have to say right now, you can fix the big parts of the lips right now. We're not going to do the main our lip retouch in this lesson, but this all white spots, it's really good to fix right now as a part of the skin retouch and everything. So later our work will be easier, just basic retouch like this. So cover all of the ugly spots and bad areas which will be difficult to remove a bit later. Of course, all of the white spots as the same as before, just cover it. So as you can see, all of the specific thing and the things, as you can notice, which I was saying before, I leave them really big areas, so I leave the really small spots. I'm not removing all of the spots, but when we go to our forehead, you can notice some really specific parts. Here between the eyebrows we have a lot of hair, so that's the thing obviously we have to take care of. Other thing is the hair above the eyebrows and the hair, some of the hair on the top of the forehead as well, as you can see. So all of this we going to remove. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Just the same as before, hit next to this and remove this area. The same with the hair between the eyebrows. Hit next and just the main hair, don't worry about the small one, because with the small one we can sort it out with our tones and colors. So just the biggest hair that doesn't look so well, and you can notice straight away, just like me. Very easy. Of course, the main road on the forehead as well, I mean that wrinkle, we can do this right now very easily using frequency separation. And what's the very important compared to other retouch, when we use frequency separation, as you can see, we are not losing our skin texture, so we actually making this skin beauty and natural, but we're not losing the skin texture at all, so it all looks still natural. So as I said, all of the main hairs, and I'm going to speed up right now because it's quite many of them, and soon we will get to the another important part to remove, and I'm going to talk again. And the other very important thing, as you can see, we have some pores from the face coming out, especially here on the makeup, all of the white spots. So you have to find the biggest one and do the same. Of course, don't forget, don't miss them, just find all of the white spots, especially on the pores, they coming out, and try to cover some of the biggest ones. Don't worry about all of them, just the bigger ones, the most shiny ones. Take care of them. Especially on the second eye, I have a bit more. So all of the shiny areas, change them a little bit. It doesn't look well when it's the pores are too shiny. A bit later we're going to remove this totally, all of the pores, or make them way smaller, but the biggest ones areas we can sort out right now. Just a few more pimples over here, and then we can move on to the next part. So I'm still not done, but I decided to show you right now everything. So as you can see, we have few more big spots on the neck, on the hand, so all of this has to be done, of course, as well. Just like me, the same method all the time. As you can see, very easy, just the biggest ones. Don't worry about the small ones. I'm going to repeat this all the time, and don't worry about all of the tones. Now the one thing we have to really take care of are the biggest spots. So okay, I think we did really great job with removing all of the small spots from this image, all of the small ugly spots of this image, but we keep the smallest pores and the tones. So in the next part of this frequency separation lesson, we're going to take care about the spots. Right now we remove everything that we actually needed, the most needed things to remove. We remove the stray hairs, which is actually difficult to remove just working with tones, and the black spots, the pimples, and all of the black hairs. So you have to agree we did really great job, and see you in a bit in another part of this frequency separation lesson.